him, he just peels for himself with his damage. So there wasn't really anything they could do.
All right, well, here we go. Game 2 as we get the picks and bans started here. SoaR's going to get rid of Ra, which makes a lot of sense. Raj is such a great god in the mid. And then the Alquan, which are the first 2 bans we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, you can tell these guys are, scrim partners like we've mentioned, and they know automatically what they want to ban. SoaR's sticking true to the book. They don't want to let Eager have that Geb Ra. And I mean, I think that's a really smart choice by them, especially after seeing how hard it is to deal with Eager, who's a team that likes to play a lot more passive and wait it out to the mid-late game. So Geb being on the side of Eager, I think would be devastating.
Yeah, we saw them play the Geb and the Guan Yu, and they just play that comp too well. So I respect the Geb ban, and we have Sylvanas here for SoaR going to Brochacho. Brochacho loves Sylvanas and plays a great Sylvanas. I like it. You got to wonder here, is Eager going to go the same route as SoaR did last time and pick up the Odin, or did they just go flat out Odin Zeus here?
I feel like Eager, if I wanted Zeus, I mean, I would probably just go ahead and lock that down. It's open. Delta Marine has displayed that he's more than capable of playing it, and he's a really comfortable pick for him, not to mention that the AoE control on the map as well that's provided by Zeus, I think is an incredibly smart, it's a smart thing to have on your team.
But they prioritized the Chronos here, and I mean, good. Would it have been banned out? Like, I don't know.
I don't think it, maybe in the second phase of bans, but I do like this. Sometimes you're just at a point where you're like, yo, I'm feeling this god right now. Like, I'm feeling this god right. And Cougar played the Chronos last game really well, and there's the Zeus for Delta Marine. So I feel like these guys did enough on these 2 gods to warrant them being the first 2 picks for Eager, and I like that they did that.
Yeah, not to mention that on the Chronos, he was taking up a lot of aggressive trades with Stormy Rays in that duo lane, and majority of the time, Cougar was actually by himself just trying to box and siege objectives on the side of the map, which was causing a lot of displacement on the side of SoaR, in that Chapo didn't really seem like he was certain of, should I just go and gank this lane and, help Stormy not die, but then at the same time, you have the issue of Eager just sieging on the other side of the map as well, so I think it causes a lot of confusion and chaos.
It sure does, and we see the Zhang Kui here for SoaR. That's going to be going to Shaliber, and that's one of Shaliber's gods. Not a lot of people play Zhang Kui on Xbox. It's primarily Shaliber and Cloud you see playing the Zhang Kui. I do like Zhang Kui. He has a lot of unmissable abilities, and unmissable abilities are good on Xbox because everything's harder to hit. So I do like the Zhang Kui, and the Nike from Eager is also a good pick. Dewars did a lot of work on that last game. Yeah,
I think there's a little bit of concern coming out from me about the Odin pick, just in the sense that we saw the worst having like a really easy time in that solo lane on the Nike Odin matchup, and I think that a large issue with that is the fact that Odin doesn't have a way to interrupt Nike's clear, so he kind of just gets to free farm to his heart's content, and I think that can be a little bit dangerous should Dewars farm up really strong again on the Nike, because then he'll just be in that back line, and when you're a Zhang Kui, it's kind of hard to get away.
Yeah, that is a rough matchup, the Nike versus the Odin, but I do want to see here, I want to see Chapo put a little bit more pressure early on that solo lane. Granted that it's not a great matchup for the Odin. I want to see him alleviate some of that pressure in the solo lane, maybe look at, see about getting Uzi a little bit ahead, because Uzi plays great from ahead, and he just makes good rotations to mid, and it helps their team fights go a lot smoother.
Yeah, I also really like Eager's idea where they're trying to go ahead and just take away as many assassins as possible while Chapo doesn't have his god locked down quite yet. Because, another thing that we haven't really considered is the Nike could also potentially be a flex pick in the jungle on the side of Eager. I mean, they've been watching the games here, and I know that PC and console are 2 different worlds, but at the same time, there's no reason that you couldn't potentially flex it like we've seen PC going and opting for.
Yeah, Mifflin has a great god pull too. I mean, I would not, even it could be support, you never know. I think Jelly could probably play Nike too, so really a good flex pick by Eager, keeping SoaR guessing. SoaR opting for the Bacchus of Willix bans there. We do know Jelly loves his Bacchus, and Mifflin, I think, has played a Willix every game so far. I think he played it 2 games in the set versus ALG, so I do like the Willix ban there. And they took the Circuit and the Thor away from Chapo, 2 gods that he's very potent on as well. So a lot of jungle bans coming out in the second phase.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised to see Mifflin potentially opt for that Athena jungle. It's something that he's run before with Eager. It's something that he feels pretty comfortable with. And I do, the Humbots with Zeus, I think, is a really great decision by them. Although it could be potentially, I think it's a great way to cause displacement during the Odin ring should his teammates be trapped inside of it, because it'll be really difficult for SoaR to try and punish those picks that can't escape themselves.
And just looking back at my notes, yes, the Awilish was picked every game. So this is, it definitely knocks him out, and a Susano coming out here.
Susano for Chapo. Susano is actually still a very strong god on Xbox especially. And the Cupid for Stormy Rays again. He went to this Cupid. We saw him go to the Cupid in the Aware set. He loves his Cupid, and it synergizes well with the Odin. But when I'm looking at Eager's comp, if they cannot, SoaR cannot fight Eager in these jungle fights. They have Humbats, Nike, Zeus. So much AoE. If they run into Eager in these jungle fights, I think it's going to spell disaster for SoaR.
Yeah, I think another issue that they're going to have to be concerned about as well is that Nike passive, considering that it provides so much movement speed on the side of Eager. You know, Eager has a lot of chase potential as well, so if SoaR aren't able to capitalize on their team combinations inside that Odin cage, I think they can find themselves in a pretty dangerous territory.
All right, well, it is all locked down. Really interesting draft there. That Xing 10 pick coming in at the end. All right, guys, who do you have?
I think that with the momentum that Eager's going with, they could potentially pick up the second game as well.
Interesting.
Just for the sake of disagreement, I'm going to go to SoaR.
Just for the sake of this, I respect the hustle. All right, guys. Game 2 is going to be underway in just a second. This is a great matchup for the console finals. It's Eager, it's SoaR. Who's going to come out on top? Let's send it over to the casters.
Thank you, Golden Boy. SoaR versus Eager, game number 2. Game number 1, all Eager's way after a pretty rough start from them.
Absolutely. We saw SoaR get off to 3 early great kills, but unfortunately couldn't translate it to more objective invades, getting those small buffs.
Yeah, Team Eager looking really great, but this is the first time we see the Shankui and the Susano picked here. It's going to be really interesting to see what SoaR is thinking on it.
Another great aggressive god for El Chapo. Now the question is, how aggressive is he going to be? Because it was just too much aggression from the last one.
I know for a fact as well, Cubofed loves the Hunbats into the Susano, so the matchup there is, I don't think it's too good for him, but El Chapo can probably pull it out. He's insane.
There's going to be a lot of area of effect damage from both of these teams, obviously, between the Sylvanas, Shankui, Cupid, and then on the other hand, you have the Hunbats, the Zeus, and don't forget the control that Jelly's going to have with that Xing Chen ultimate.
Again, we see big groupings from both teams here. Last game, this level 1 fight went the way of SoaR Gaming, but as we remember, Team Eager were able to win the game overall.
And we see now Stormy Rays playing the Cupid, which is a great god for the level 1 compared to Air Cougar on the Kronos. But Uzi and Elbro Chacha, though, you don't really want to commit there with the rest of your teammates behind you.
They want this 5v5 again. They want to get the early kills and maybe get that lucky pick.
They want to find the wards, but now Uzi caught out of position. He's still holding on to his ability. I think he's not going to be able to jump in, not finding the card either for the slow.
That would have been a good slow right there. Maybe a pick onto Mifflin, or at least he would have picked up his jump, and that would have been really good for SoaR.
Absolutely, because without your second ability, you're not going to be able to clear as quickly those buffs. So that will give a slight edge to SoaR just to get to laning phase first.
Exactly, and now we see just the passive start, you know, they're taking their own jungle. This is a really overall normal start, at least coming out from SoaR. The support is going to rotate to the solo lane side, so I'm going to be looking at whether they're going to take the fire camps and then the mid camp, so they get like a slight lead.
Tell me more about these builds coming out of these supports. We see on one side Jelly starting off with the Traveler Shoes, and on the other side Brochacho playing Sylvanas, Marco the Vanguard with Boots 1.
I mean, the Telerik Boots is once again for the early aggressiveness, getting that extra gold, and on the other hand, Sylvanas don't have the same mobility as Xing 10 have, so you want to get that early protection to possibly stay alive and fade for yourself.
Mifflin took a lot of damage there from those right-hand side mid-camps. Going to be rotating towards the fire elementals, but SoaR have already cleared them.
And it seems though, as the Gremlins do spawn, SoaR are in position to grab these first sets of them, and now Brochacho going to 3-man split it. Is it efficient to 3-man split those?
I mean, overall, it's fine. It's not too efficient. You want to get that two-man split in, mostly, but overall, this goes to in the favor of SoaR. They're getting the same farm, but overall, SoaR get those fire camps, so that's going to give them maybe 50 gold ahead.
So already the game, compared to the last one, just not as quickly without those 3 kills right off the bat. So these both teams are still going to feel each other out, wait for the right timings before they aggress, wait for those level 5 plays.
And the Hunbats picked up Ninja Tabi. I'm a little bit confused about the pick. I would have liked to see the Artillery boost to get that extra gold off in the start, because Ninja Tabi overall, I mean, attack speed, you don't really need it, because Hunbats you blink in and then you get 1 crit and dead.
Do you think with the Ninja Tabi, he's going to build something a little bit more differently, like maybe Transcendence, just to get more mana and spam his abilities, or?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he's thinking here, because the Ninja Tabi is definitely not a common pick.
Absolutely. You don't have as much physical power, but you do have some attack speed to maybe get off those hits in between the abilities, so we'll see how that plays out later on.
Both of our hunters here have gone into Boots at the start yet again. We're really seeing starter items not be as popular in the ADC role in this tournament.
It just seems that the mobility is a bigger factor.
I mean, the mobility is good, but I feel like if you leave the dual lane alone, the boot start is not a good start, because you don't have the extra sustain that you would have with like a Vampire Shroud, a Death Toll onto the Hunters. So I would have liked to see at the Cupid at least picking up that Death Toll to keep his sustain. He also needs the extra mana to keep healing himself.
If you look at both of these gods, though, they do have some sustain built into their kit. Stormy Rays with the hearts for himself, Air Cougar, if he gets the first takeoff and his accelerate, then he'll get some more health with them.
And right now, SoaR's just going to be looking for these fire camps, just trying to get the control over the right side of the jungle. Team Eagle will not be able to do the goal free, so just keeping the right control is just fine for now.
SoaR grabbing their second set of the Gremlins there by the Fire Giant, and now rotating down the middle. Brochacho, he wants to find a pull maybe onto Jelly.
El Brochacho playing so aggressive. He's always up in their face. Even though he's not doing anything, he's showing presence, and Team Eagle needs to be under his power, because he will find a pull.
There's the ultimate from Stormy Rays. Air Cougar using his rewind as well, looking to take the 1v1. Stun onto Stormy Rays. Stun not off onto Air Cougar. Stormy Rays forced to dash away.
And that's just going to be a wash, though. But now we see Eager starting to contest their own speed bump, but a nice ultimate from Brochacho, and the Typhoon comes through.
Jelly gets known with his ultimate there. Delta Marine very low. Delta Marine somehow still alive. Chapo not going to let that happen for long. Shalaba actually the one to pick up that kill. Dwurst fighting 1v4 here, forced to run away.
And that was a great job by SoaR, because they pushed the mid wave first and then they invaded.
Yeah, first of all, they're looking for the early aggressiveness, which I really like coming out from SoaR for once.
That's really great there from Chapo. He forces out the purification from Air Cougar.
And thinking that he was going to pull him in there, right?
Right. And this time, SoaR is giving Team Eagle no time to breathe. They're going to invade everything they can, and they're just going to keep doing this.
And this is something that SoaR struggled with last game, was they got a couple of early kills, but weren't able to translate that into efficient farming.
And this is how you've managed to take advantage of your early picks. You don't keep forcing team fights down the mid lane. You go for an invade on the right, invade on the left, slowly build a goal lead.
And last game, it seemed like SoaR really had a hard time dealing with the Zeus ultimate. So the fact that they pick in Shankri, a really tanky mid laner, just makes it easier for him to just go in and just tank it all, meanwhile doing a lot of damage to Marine.
It just seems that, yeah, SoaR wants to be able to match that area of effect damage from Delta Marine with some damage of their own. And now with Brochacho and the Sylvanas, we saw the strategy coming out of SoaR right off the bat. They banned Geb, which is a huge comfort pick for Jelly, now switching back to the support role after the fall split. And they also took away his Sylvanas, 2 of his best gods. And now Brochacho, he's always in a position to make a good play.
Yeah, I love that idea coming out from SoaR. Also, because Jelly was looking so good last game on that Sylvanas. He was playing so aggressive and sort of the same style as El Brochacho is doing right now.
The knock-up on Sylvanas is such a potent form of CC as well. We see Dwurst actually jumping away here. Chapo looking to chase here, just getting off some extra damage. Cage coming out from Uzi. They're looking to get the kill here onto Dwurst, forcing out the ultimate from here as well. Here's the Typhoon from Chapo, knocks up Dwurst. Dwurst falls down to Uzi.
Great job by the members of SoaR, utilizing the fact that all of Eager was in the mid lane. No one can really bail Dwurst out, and the Cage, it seemed like there was a little bit of miscommunication at first, but then Chapo found the kill.
SoaR Gaming looking for this gold free, perhaps a little bit early. El Brochacho looking for the pull through the wall, not going to be able to find it. Jelly has rotated.
You have to respect the fact that Mifflin does have Fear No Evil available, which will totally disrupt any sort of gold fury attempt from SoaR. They had the ward to spot out the rotation from Mifflin coming around the corner, which is why we saw the card go through the wall, and which is why we saw El Brochacho trying to find that pull as well.
Left-hand side, Stormy Rays getting some pressure thrown in his face there by Jelly and Air Cougar, and Eager now have the total vision control around this Gold Fury pit.
And I really want to see Stormy just completely just forcing Air Cougar's ult all the time so the Susano can come and gank, because when the Kronos have the ultimate ready, he will have a safer position. When he doesn't have his ultimate, it's going to be a free gank for Chapo.
And exactly, the cooldowns are a little bit shorter on the side of Stormy Rays. 90 seconds, Air Cougars is a little bit longer, so that's going to allow a little bit of a timing window potentially to wait that one out. Allow a timing window for Chapo to make the rotation, find the kill, and look for gold.
El Chapo here taking a lot of damage, but a good purification. Saves him from the CC of the Fino Evo. Elbow Chacho now taking a little bit of poke here, but he's got some sustain to keep himself healthy.
But Ozzy, though, he's diving that tier 1 mid tower. He's left alone. He's going to get pulled back in to the Zeus ultimate. Great pick by Eager.
I mean, just way too aggressive positioning from us today. Just jumping in, trying to find some damage on the Zeus. He would never have been able to get a kill there, so jumping in was completely useless.
And this is the sword that we do not want to see if they want to be able to get any sort of advantages off of their picks. They need to play as a team and as a cohesive unit. You could potentially look for a kill because of obviously your huge burst damage from the bird bomb, but you can't do it alone.
And there we go. There's the forcing of the ultimate from Stormy. And I really want to see now Chapo instantly rotating to the left lane. Air Cougar does have a really good aggressive ward, so it's going to be hard ganking anyways. If he finds a route where Air Cougar is not going to be able to see him, he will 100% get this kill.
The first step has been complete by Stormy Rays. The question is the second step going to be followed up by Chapo? Smite has become a game now where you can no longer really get any more solo kills on your own. It's all about a checklist. Okay, I have to do this to get to the second one, have my teammate rotate here, and now we find the kill.
You have to set it up, force purification, so on, all the time, exactly. But right now, I mean, Air Cougar's ult is still down. I just want to see this gank so bad because he's so easy to gank with
it
ultimate
might
down.
happen, but Eager has so much vision around the gold here. Even if he makes that rotation, I just expect Air Cougar to just back off and play passive.
But Susano has so much mobility. He can even go from the tower and still catch up to him.
That's true, but the way Chapo has been playing it, it's been a little bit more passive compared to the last game. I think he's a little bit shook, I would say, from the last game because he was expecting so many good plays to happen and just never did. So now, sort of making a 180 into game number 2.
Air Cougar gets a stun onto Chapo. Chapo, a lot of damage. Fino, Evil, Mifflin absolutely destroys the jungler from SoaR.
And gotta be careful. You can't be alone there. Now, I know he wanted to defend that ward, but you can't sacrifice your own life there.
Not only can he be alone, but without purification, and there's a Hunbat and Xingtan in the game, you gotta be careful.
It's such an important relic cooldown to always be aware of. You already got one ward. It's okay if you give up your other ward. Rely on your teammates to be in position around this goal here. But now Air Cougar are going to get rooted and pulled. A little bit of damage, though, as SoaR continues to chase.
No rewind available just yet for Air Cougar, forcing his accelerate out. Here's the ultimate from Shallow, but the rewind came online just in time before Chacho kills him before it can even have effect. Jelly there using his ultimate to immune the Cupid ultimate as well. Brochacho looking for the pull, not choosing to pull the trigger.
Air Cougar just rotating way too aggressively, especially without his ultimate down. He just got it out, very unfortunate overall, but just way too aggressive.
Respect the cooldowns. Chapo didn't respect his purification cooldown. Air Cougar didn't respect the rewind. And now, with that one pick off, SoaR still trying to bait. Look at Chapo.
Looking for the pull in there, he finds Jelly. There's the Tempest, I should say. Jelly taking a lot of damage and forcing out the shell from the support of Eager.
Also,
now,
Shelber used his ultimate in the last fight really poorly, so now he doesn't have it for this fight, so SoaR still need to be careful.
They're still trying to get this gold here, but a lot of damage from that bird bomb. Getting caught in the cage, jumping over. He'll be fine for now, and that's going to allow Eager to disengage from this team fight. SoaR still don't want to start the gold here, Brochacho, with not too much mana.
There's too many members of Eager around for them to really look at this, and vision control still in favor of Eager.
Right, and now El Brochacho is out of mana, so they can't stay around this goal free. They need that sustain to basically just forcing the goal free and going back in. Yeah, they need to sustain.
Still 10 minutes into the game, SoaR waiting for the right opportunity to be able to get this next important objective. They're kind of flirting with the idea of Gold Fury. It's fine if they're able to pull the members of Eager away out of position because they have the tools necessary to really start punishing people. They have the control with El Chapo, Brochacho as well, the knock-up, the pull, another knock-up from the Typhoon. Stormy Rays has a huge cripple, which is going to prevent anyone from escaping if they don't have the purification.
Well, Chacho need to back here before Team Eager is going to be looking for this goal through, because they've all been back, so they're full mana. They've got their
everything.
items, so.
They honestly have everything,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned before, a Sylvanas without any mana is not even worth having, and you might as well be playing the game 4v5.
Right, and I really like the combo from Team Eager, the Xing 10 and the Humbats overall. It's two really AoE beats forces, so if the Xing 10 is forcing 2 beats, well then the Humbats is going to have a free ult. If the Humbats forces 2 purifications or even 1, the Xing 10 is going to be able to take anybody, and it's just going to be a free kill every time they do this.
Seems to be a much slower pace game than our first one. You know, SoaR Gaming really trying to slow the pace down. Eager here looking for the gold tree. Excellent ultimate fry. Mifflin keeps Stormy Rays away. Shaliber looking to get some return damage. Great stun there. Eager takes the gold tree. Shaliber though picks up 1 kill. Here's Uzi looking for another rewind though. Comes through from Cougar. Stormy Rays looking for some damage. He's trapped inside the cage still. Shaliber doing a lot of damage here, but so is Dwurst. Delta Marine falls down to Brochacho.
And now Air Cougar's going to fall as well. So far it's going to be a 3-for-1. Shaliber sacrificing his life to perfection. The jump away into place. Dwurst is going to fall as well after the root. Despite losing gold, SoaR 5-4.
Dwurst jumping in place there is so confusing for me, because I think he could have gotten away if he just basically jumped towards his tower. Just really well played by Eager, realizing they're on the go through and collapsing on it immediately.
And despite losing the objective, they're looking for more objectives of their own. They're going for the tier 1 mid tower. Chapo's going to the right-hand side, checking if speed buff's up, checking if the blue is up. No, it's not. All right, I'll go grab a wave, push down into the soul lane. Maybe I'll put some poke on this tower of my own.
And now when SoaR got this tower, it is definitely not worth for Team Eager. They're losing 4 people in total, and they get all the jungle control. So now SoaR is just going to be having this control.
Last game we saw Shaliber fall behind to Delta Marine. This game we see Delta Marine falling behind to Shaliber. Do you think that this mid-lane control is really what's dictating the terms of this game?
I think it's because Shaliber is now finally on a comfortable guard into Zeus, because the Scylla is so squishy. If you ever get the chain lightning on him, you're dead. And the other hand, if you get a chain lightning onto a Shang-Kui, he can just go into him and kill him.
SoaR is all about going all in. That's their motto. And what other god would you put than Jean-Kui to fill that kind of position, obviously? So we see Brochacho being able to help Shaliber stay alive a little bit with the heals, as well as just controlling so much space between both of their ultimates. If SoaR continue to play like this, then the later the respawns go, the more objectives they'll be able to control.
Jelly there taking a little bit of poke from Shaliber. Nothing much doing there. No relics forced from either team. Shaliber, though, just getting out a lot of consistent damage from Jonkwe.
This was a perfect opportunity for Jelly just to ult in Shaliber. Even if he didn't purify it, he just got the pressure in, and most likely he would have used his purification, because there was 2 other players from Team Eager around.
And that's just going to be more of a waiting game here. Both teams grabbing their own buffs. They're going to try to still feel each other out, because despite the 4-for-1, you know, Eager getting gold fury, the gold deficit is just still in SoaR's favor ever so slightly. Up 1,000 gold, heading into the 14-minute mark. Both teams looking for the next big team fight.
Also, a good thing Mifflin picked up speeds, actually. This is good for SoaR, because he needs Blink, but wait a second.
Yeah, Cougar pulled in there. Stun doesn't land onto Chapo. Chapo doing a lot of damage there to Cougar, but Cougar getting a lot of return damage onto Stormy Rays. Here comes Jelly, Mifflin, and Delta Marine. So SoaR wisely choose to disengage.
And that's what you really want to do while Gold Fury is still down. Look for any sort of advantage that you can on the left-hand side of the map. We see the rest of SoaR come through, though, but Chacho and Shaliber are now here. Chapo goes in, not able to really connect onto anybody. The Monkey connecting onto 2. Doesn't want to teleport in, though, would be a little risky.
And Air Cougar just seems to be having this matchup in his hands right now. He's doing such a great job holding the pressure onto the Cupid, and that's the reason why they couldn't gank him there.
And in the soul lane between Uzi and Dwurst, it seems that Uzi has now adapted a little bit better than the last game. He's not getting bullied under his own tier 1 tower. He's making the plays necessary to adjust. Every single time the Nike uses her ability, the shield comes out negating all that damage.
There's the Purification forced out of Chapo there. Mifflin using the Fear No Evil, so Purification burn. Brochacho pulls in Jelly there, but to no effect.
No follow-up. They don't want to commit too hard at that point.
He didn't even want to kill. He just wanted the purification. Now the Chimpan is able to ult him, and if he gets that ultimate, he will die instantly.
140 seconds until the purification comes back online for El Chapo, so Eager could look for an opportunity there.
But as I was saying before, the Humbats have to pick up the blink, as he just did. but now we have no Aegis for the Chun-Kui damage, and that's going to spell trouble.
Just too much damage over time on the side of SoaR. So as long as they're able to position themselves to catch Mifflin, Mifflin has to be careful about going in first, basically. He has to kind of bait out Jelly, wait for the cooldowns from SoaR to be used, and then he can go in.
I'm really liking Chapo on this Susano. Rather than last game we saw him on Thor, seemed to overcommit too much, whereas with the Susano, he can overplay his hand a little bit but still get out.
Exactly, with the extra mobility, he's in a safer spot. It's a little bit like Circuit. You're always in their face, but you can always get out because you have so much mobility.
And it seems now we're going to see Brochacho force the purification from Delta Marine. He's going to use the ultimate defensively. Chapo trying to survive using that Sanctuary. The Fear No Evil coming, and that's going to be the first victim.
Great knock up there from Chapo's ultimate. Shalama doesn't get knocked up here, doing a lot of damage. Stormy Ray's excellent ultimate. Here comes Uzi. They're looking for Dwurst, but he's so tanky at the moment, and there's no follow-up damage there from SoaR Gaming.
After the rewind, Eric Cougar wanted to be able to get back into the team fight, but every member from Eager is low. Uzi jumping in, wanted to find a slow potentially, but the rest of his team is too far behind him.
Just a great shield coming out from Team Eager. They're absorbing all the damage coming out from the Sun Q and making it able for them to just re-engage.
And now there's a 10-second window before El Chapo respawns, but it's actually SoaR that's going to start the goal here, recognizing that Eager didn't back yet. There's still a small health pool advantage for SoaR. They see Dwurst and Jelly a little bit out of position, and now with Jelly in the mid lane, they could start this.
Dwurst taking a lot of damage. There's a ring down from Uzi, but it's not going to trap anyone in except for Jelly, and they're completely ignoring him. Delta Marine Gate, great chain lightning there to force away SoaR.
And now it's just a waiting game. Wait for the sustain to come through. You have the Cupid Hearts, you have Brochacho's Wisps to be able to get you topped off, and SoaR recognizing this, they're going to start the goal.
Let's listen to SoaR while they try and take this objective.
Yo, in the back,
the back.
Yo, Crow's in the back, Crow's. They're all on me, guys.
I'm on Kronos.
Zoning,
Everyone's calling shit. I don't know why we're not listening to anything. Like, no more calls. Like, everybody's yelling shit. It's not talking to shit. It's one person. Listen to the call.
That went very badly for SoaR very quickly there.
And as you said, everybody was calling different things. At the end, it's just, you needed to have one caller and just be like, what are we going to do here?
Well, Eager didn't make it very easy, but Uzi, he's going to jump, and he finds one. Nice jump from Mifflin. Not going to sacrifice himself in the process, so yet again, SoaR finding
They might actually find Uzi here. Dwurst chasing him down, waiting for the damage to come online. Basic attack doesn't land. Jump from Uzi, and now Dwurst going to drop off.
And like we saw earlier on in that Gold Fury fight, SoaR pulling it, but it was Eager coming from every single angle. SoaR was just everywhere.
Right, and it seemed like there was just way too much yelling because SoaR was staying on the go free, but at the same time they were calling targets, so overall they were just splitting that fight and Eager just easily collapsing on it.
It seemed that they really wanted to take advantage of Eric Cougar on the Kronos because his rewind was not available. He came underneath. We saw the fact that Chapo was chasing him a little bit, but then we saw Shaliber was the first victim there earlier on because he got caught off on the right-hand side, so wherever you're going on the left, there's going to always be action behind you as well.
Right, and Chun-Kui without ultimate is basically useless, and he had no ultimate for that fight, so overall forcing that is a little bit wonky.
After that engagement, we could see a huge swing in experience and gold in favor of Team Eager, and this is kind of what happened last game as well. Uzi forced to use the ultimate. Dwurst knocked up there by Chapo. Dwurst happy to take this fight. As I was saying, though, this is kind of what we saw last game, albeit much quicker. SoaR making plays in the early game, but then Eager coming back.
Still early on, though, you know, heading into 20 minutes. Nice little blink ultimate. Going to force the purification out of Delta Marine, so window, but Uzi very low, trying to get out of danger, just can't find the jump.
Uzi just being way too aggressive. Mifflin was just there before, and he's going all the way up in the lane. Just a bad position.
Even using the ultimate, but now Chapo in a 1v2 spot. The tier 1 tower at this point can just be easily absorbed by Dwurst if he wants to. He jumps back in, recognizing he does have the defense. The monkeys come out, but being pulled back in, sacrificing himself. Can they find a return kill, though?
Chapo is tilted. He is going way too aggressive now, just dying over again, and this is what I don't want to see from SoaR. Them getting on the backhand because they're an emotional team, and if they get down, I don't think there's no way up for them.
No, I don't think so either. They definitely live or die off of their communications. We've seen them in the past land just how vocal they are. They try to get into the heads of their opposition, but it seems that Eager is used to this, and they're not allowing that to happen. They're being very patient here.
It seems like SoaR needs that momentum, but Team Eager taking it away from them just brings them down.
Now, we still see missed heart bombs coming out of Stormy Rays, but the ultimate gonna be deterred. Air Cougar missing that Sanctuary rather suspiciously. I think he could have easily walked out of
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
he had the wing blade parked there, so he could definitely get out. No reason to Aegis.
Maybe just a little bit of
Choco. We all do that on the big stage.
Every now and then, but now getting pulled in. Mifflin forced to jump away. Didn't want to take too much poke from Chalibur. They still looking for more opportunities down the mid lane. With Chapo being respawned, they have to collect the pieces that started to slowly crumble. They have to start grouping up and find somebody from Eager isolated.
Yeah, and I love the pickup of the wing blade. Everybody should basically get it from Team Eager because the Shankui have picked up the game of isolation. The AoE slow is going to be terrible for them, so they need that wing blade to be able to like get out of that ring.
Utilizing their area of effect damage, they have to try to catch people in Uzi's ultimate. They have Brochacho playing the Sylvanas. They have Chalibur's ultimate. Just play together. Don't leave anyone behind.
We're saying that we need the winged ones on the side of Eager. Mifflin actually forced to jump away. Brochacho doesn't get the knock-up, only onto Jelly. Looking for a pull, not going to find a great chain lightning there from Delta Marine. Brochacho taking a lot of damage, trying to sustain himself back up. But the fact is, Team Eager has got so much anti-healing online.
Right, but also Marine's positioning have been so great this game. Also, Team Eager's reaction time have been so good. There have been so many pre-purifications before the Sylvanas ult, and that's really hard to prevent.
That wasn't the first time that they saw the Blink Sylvanas ultimate through the wall. Eager were expecting that every step of the way, so they're gonna be expecting more aggression from Brochacho, from Uzi. Look how grouped up Eager are. They're gonna be able to jump in, find a double knockup while the rest of their team commits.
And that's already forced out of Shell. There's the ultimate from Jelly, knock up by Chapo, but here comes Mifflin looking for a great ultimate. Chalibur pops his, there's a ring there from Uzi, great ring, but it's not having any effect. Mifflin forced to jump away. Delta Marine's ultimate is perfect there, forcing away Chapo. Chalibur taking a lot of damage, and Delta Marine gets himself another kill.
And Mifflin, though, he wants another one going on to El Brochacho, forced to jump away, but he lives right next to Stormy Rays. Not going to be able to find the kill quite yet. Nice body blocking by Air Cougar. Mifflin finally falling, but not until 3 of his teammates falling out. That's
Oh my
triple.
goodness, Delta Marine there. Did you see what he did? Getting the auto attacks on, keeping the Zeus passive online onto the Cupid so that he could detonate his charge.
And everyone from from SoaR just tried to collapse on the Humbat. They couldn't do it, so the Zeus could do everything he wanted, just trying to peel for the Humbat. He got so much damage this fight.
And that was a great idea to be able to utilize that Zeus ult defensively just to keep Mifflin alive for a little bit longer. And as a result, you can see Eager grab that middle Phoenix 23 minutes into the game.
But it also seems like SoaR was like, go fight, retreat, because one by one they went in. Chalibur went in alone, Chapo went in alone. They like went in by themselves, not collapsing as a whole team and just going on them on the same time.
The separation distance between Chapo and Chalibur was just too much. We saw the triple flank from Eager as a result, taking out that Jonquil. Like you mentioned before, once the ultimate is not available for Chalibur, he's almost useless. Now, he does have that gem of isolation now, but it's not as effective as he wants it to be in these team fights, I feel like.
Chalibur need to have this Obsidian shard online before they fight again. The last fight, he didn't even have it bought, so he had no penetration. The shell just did too much work that fight.
Wouldn't a Spirit of the Macus be better than an Obsidian Shard, though?
I mean, now when they don't really have another magical, the Obsidian Shard is better. If they had like a Chronos on the ADC, I would have liked to see it then, but now it's better for himself as a whole.
We also could see potentially more utility items coming, like Pythax piece, for example, between the Sylvanas and the Jonquil, just to be able to synergize more magical damage for their teammates, because it just doesn't seem to me that SoaR is getting off the damage and the kills as quickly as they would like. They need to bait out the relics before overcommitting.
And on the right-hand side, Air Cougar going to push down the Tier 2 tower all alone, as it looks like SoaR's hanging around this Fire Giant, making sure the rest of Team Eager isn't doing that. But they're just sacrificing this tower, and a huge golden experience advantage now for Team Eager.
Smart play from Eager. Fire Giant is too important 25 minutes in. You have the Cronus level 20 with a lot of attack speed. Jelly coming from the backhand side. Not going to be able to really go in here, though.
Here he goes, though. Here comes Mifflin, gets the Fear No Evil. Air Cougar around the backside as well, looking for Chapo. Eager's a little bit split up here as Uzi's laid down the ring. Rewind there from Air Cougar behind the rest of SoaR. Uzi, though, effectively zoned out 3 members of SoaR. Great knockup by Brochacha. Here comes Uzi. Dwurst uses the shield to great effect. Delta Marine, so much damage. Jelly tossing 2 back in. Delta Marine doing so much damage, but Stormy Rays picks up Jelly.
1 for 1 so far. Brochacha a little low. The hearts are coming out. Uzi jumping away, but Dwurst getting caught. Eager losing 2. Uzi shielding himself, trying to run. The blink is good. That's going to be 3 dead for SoaR. They have to give this one up. They're going to lose the tier 2 right tower. Do they go for Phoenix or the Fire Giant here?
I think they want it back right now. They actually have Air Cougar, but they have no one to tank the Fire Giant, so they just want it back, get the sustain, find the control, and then start baiting again. Overall, that was a good fight from SoaR, and that's why Eager can't do anything at this point. El Brochacha got a sick ultimate off.
Air Cougar being chunked down by Chapo here. Straight into the Sanctuary, keeps himself alive, and Delta Marine hangs around to save his teammate, but Chapo and Uzi want to find the re-engage.
And now we're going to see SoaR. They recognize the fact that Team Eager hasn't back yet. Air Cougar's Rewind still not available. A little bit low in the health and mana department. Going to be able to zone away them from the warding controls. But Eager, with this advantage, with the gold and experience, it's getting very troublesome for SoaR.
And this is what I don't like about SoaR's combo right now. They have the healing on the Cupid, they have the healing on the Sylvanos, but they have a Shankui on the team. As a Shankui, you want to go all in. You don't want, like, at this point, SoaR need to use the healing while going back poking. But Shankui's not about poking. You want to go all in.
You might as well start.
It's weird for me.
You might as well start utilizing that ultimate defensively at this point. If you're Shalabert, let Eager be the ones to engage, be the first ones in, utilize your sustain, and then the second set of cooldowns. Once the relics are down, then you commit your ultimate.
Uzi there. Oh, excellent route through the cage by Jelly. Keeps Uzi in place. Fear No Evil onto the solo laner. Uzi getting chunked down here. There's the ultimate out of Jelly, but Uzi manages to get away. Dwurst is chasing though. Dwurst looking for the kill onto his solo lane opponent while Delta Marine absolutely bursts down Shalaba. Stormy Rays uses his ultimate. Blocks 2 in place. Chapo gets a kill, but Delta Marine, he's got another triple kill. 2 triple kills this game for the mid laner of Team Eager. Stormy Rays very low, forced to use the Sanctuary. He's arrested. Eager. Stormy Rays falls down. Team Eager. Middle Phoenix is low. They're looking for the win.
They got the deicide. They found Delta Marine, but at what cost? They got all 5 members from SoaR down. Team Eager, they won game 1. They're winning game 2. They're 1 more win away from crowning themselves as the SMITE console world champions.
Excellent play all game from Team Eager. Very similar to last game, we saw SoaR take an early lead, but just unable to capitalize.
Eager looking so strong right now. Delta Marine on that suit is so strong.